Hi everybody, Terry here, broadcasting from the Grove Park community here in Baltimore City. I want to talk about the school whose playground I am on now. This school is the Grove Park Elementary middle school building. And this school was built in 1958 to support the Grove Park neighborhood, which is behind me, and the houses on the other side. You might be able to see it back there. Grove Park right now is at risk of being destabilized. There's a company named Communicare that it has put in for an RFP. They participate in the RFP process through the Department of Housing and Community Development with Baltimore City. And the community put forward some Black-led nonprofits to also participate in the RFP process, and we actually endorsed one of those nonprofits who wanted to open a financial literacy program. It was called Beam Prep. We also partnered with Concord Baptist Church, who has a wealth finance structure, and their community development corporation wanted to take hold of the school and, just go ahead and reopen it as a school and community resource center for the seniors and young people who are in the neighborhood. But our city councilman brought it to the attention of Communicare that this building would be going up for RFP, and he did so along with Delegate Sandy Rosenberg. And again, this community is 96% Black. This immediate neighborhood is about half Latino, along with the neighborhood on the other side. I know that because not only am I part of the neighborhood association, but also my family is half Latino. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to get emotional right here. Guys, we need your help. The Grove Park community is under attack. Our city government has decided to not listen to us, and right now they are partnering with individuals who have paid off everybody in the state government. Really, they paid the Communicare folks and the healthcare facilities management company that's behind them paid off. They gave financial donations to the governor, the Speaker of the House, Ms. Adrienne Jones, the Senate President, Bill Ferguson, to Dahlia Attar, to our Councilman, Yitzi Schleifer, to systematically ignore our community. When we talk about systemic racism, it's coming from the people who, our people have voted for, but also it's coming from the people who have, they've organized themselves into Baltimore city government, and they are advocating for communities north of West Northern Parkway and not advocating for the communities that are south of Northwestern Parkway that tend to look like me and not like others. Now, that being said, I went to Annapolis today to advocate on behalf of a bill, Senate Bill 849, proposed by Senator Jill Carter. She is the only senator who is willing to speak up and say, hey, this is wrong, what's happening to the Grove Park community. But guess what? The bill that was corresponding with hers over on the House, it was proposed by Sandy Rosenberg. Howard Friedman, who was the former chairman of APAC, and his daughter, Gabrielle Cherowitz, who works for Communicare, the company who is buying the school, demolishing the school. They're going to replace it with a rehab center, a 150-bed rehab center, and 100 parking spaces to take down the playgrounds that our kids play at and replace it with a rehab center, high traffic. It's going to be no investment and no win situation for those in the community. This does not benefit the homeowners of this community. And in fact, there are studies out there from the University of Memphis and other organizations that says when assisted living facilities and rehabs and small hospitals move into your neighborhoods, they actually devalue the property. But to just show you how deep this goes, when there was a fire that happened at one of the auxiliary buildings of one of these now shuttered school, the auxiliary building of this now shuttered school, Grove Park, our councilman never brought up anything. He never said anything. And in fact, it was 2 fires that happened that morning of July 27th. He never said anything. Our fire resources, they came to put out the fire, but no investigation was done to what caused the fire, which had to be arson, because the building sat there vacant for 2 years, no fire. Guys, I need your help to save a black community, to save and reopen a black school that was a thriving black school that had over 300 students that were uprooted and placed over into another community, and to save the black homeowners, the black seniors, the black young people who just bought their home, the Latino young people that just bought their home, and the new Americans who just moved into this neighborhood. Help save our communities. That's my plea. You can help us by first calling 410-370-1066. That's 410-370-1066. That number will put you in touch with Mr. Steve Ward. He's in the leadership of the co-president of Grove Park Improvement Association. You can also email him at sspward@comcast.net. And you can email me at ttrweatt@gmail.com. That will put you forward to my email address. We need to advocate for this black community. We need to advocate for it, not just because I am invested in it, but because, you know, there are folks like my neighbor, Jerry, who just moved into the house right there. Him and his wife, they're from Colombia. They're new Americans. They have 2 young daughters. One of them is the same age as my daughter. They bought their house just, 2 years ago. And already, this fire right here that could have happened, there's a tree that almost caught fire that actually got singed a little bit, that could have carried over into his yard. Complete disinvestment. There are people like Miss Smith, who lives at the top of the block. Her and her husband, her husband was one of the first black fire captains or fire chiefs in the city, Mr. Clyde Smith. And they were one of the first black individuals in this neighborhood. These are long-term homeowners, middle-class black folks who live in a stable community. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of black and Jewish individuals and Latino individuals who have come through this school building and who've gone on from elementary and middle school, which was at this building, to go on to become doctors, lawyers, everything. Me, myself, I had 5 siblings who went through that school. This is personal for me. Please, 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 please help. 410-370-1066 or sspward@comcast.net. You can also help by calling Mayor Brandon Scott and Councilman Yitzi Schleifer, and calling Communicare, and specifically Mr. Steve Rosedale with Communicare, and telling him to save Grove Park. Get out of this community. There are other places that we could put the rehab facility, and I've actually talked to those community leaders in vacant lots that are there to move his facility there. They would like the investment. But right here, they were on vacant lots. Right here, we have a school that we would like to reopen as a school for the black and Latino individuals in this neighborhood and around the city to save their investment. Thank you.